Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking, Captain Clyde's MTG, and it's a beautiful morning. Before we get started today, don't forget we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's the beginning of preview season for All Will Be One. So before we get started this morning on preview season, which I'll have a video for you later tonight for all the cards that get previewed today, let's talk a little bit about two more Planeswalkers that got previewed, plus what came out on Blogatog on things to expect on teasers of what you might see today. So, we'll start with our very first Planeswalker, Nissa, the Ascended Animist. So this amazing thing is 4 green and 3 for a 7 loyalty Planeswalker, or 5 mana for a 5 loyalty Planeswalker, which is your normal Nissa cost, and 4 life. But for a +1, you get a XX Phyrexian Horror creature token, where X is Nissa's Ascended Animist, where X is her loyalty. So if you pay, if you bring in for 5 and pay 4 life, you make a 6/6 by just plussing it once. That's amazing. -1, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's going to be huge in this artifact-rich environment. And then -7 till end of turn. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each force you control and gain trample. Seems pretty good. I don't think it's going to be as powerful as we're used to, only because it's only going to be powerful if we don't have a lot of aggro. And the reason I say that is by turn 5, sacrificing 4 life to get this on the field may get you killed in most decks. And that's going to be the one thing that's going to keep this from being probably played in everything. So there's that. So moving right along, next we have Tyvar, a Jubilant Brawler. So we have Tyvar, he's back again. He's a black, green, and 1 for a. This almost looks like a fake card, to be honest with you. But anyway, uh, for a 3 loyalty, you may activate abilities of creatures as though they had haste. That means you can't attack with creatures, but when they come into play, they can do their thing, which is pretty cool. For a +1, you can untap up to 1 target creature. Um, Pseudo Vigilance, which might be a good thing, or could be a good combo with other creatures. -2, mill 3 cards, then may return a creature card mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That seems pretty good. Uh, Probably in standard, definitely in older formats, because notice it doesn't say out of the 3 cards you mill, it says out of your graveyard. So you could easily use this in modern to get Death Shadows back, if there's not already a thing doing that. Um, but yeah, like, this seems to be a very powerful Planeswalker for 3, but it also seems to be pulled back enough that it's not um, overpowering in the format in general. So we'll have to wait and see um, if this is actually a okay Planeswalker at 3, or if Wizard of the Coast made another broken card. It's going to be interesting to find out. Um, I don't think there's too many cards currently that untapping matter in standard, but in older formats, when cards have effects when they tap, that could be definitely a thing. So there's our Planeswalkers. Next, we have Blogatog, where Rosewater came out. He likes to give us a little teaser of what we'll see in the set. Here it is. So let's run through it real quick. So this spell costs 3 more to cast if it targets a creature. We've seen these before. It's much like some spells that say, black and 3, -4/-4. If you target a white creature, it's 3 less to cast. So that's not special there. The player has fewer than 9 poison counters, get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. We've already seen that. Um, that was in Vraska. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyard to exile. I believe we've seen that with an artifact that we spoiled. It was a 0/4 for 2 artifact. Beginning of each player's upkeep, card name deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Now that one we haven't seen yet, and that might be very interesting. That might be a card that sees modern play if it's a red card, only because mono red really likes effects like that. So if it has all activated abilities of all land cards in your graveyard. I don't think we've seen that anything like that yet. Uh, Says then if a graveyard has 20 or more cards in it, you draw 3 cards. We have not seen that. That's interesting. If a creature dying causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. I'm pretty sure that's a creature dying. Huh. We haven't seen a dying one yet, I don't think, unless that's the one on Elesh Norn. So next, search your library for a basic sphere or locust land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. I think we've seen that one, but I'm not really sure. Finally, some creature types. Phyrexian Jellyfish, Fungus and Dinosaur, Cat Rebels, Phyrexian Squid, Phyrexian Mollusk, Ogre Rebel, Phyrexian Masticore, Phyrexian Rat, Phyrexian Elephant Wizard. Those are kind of interesting and okay. Um, but not so much. But I left the top half for the second half because there's some interesting stuff in there, guys. So on the other page, what we have here at the very top of it, an ability word named Corrupted. We know about that. An artifact that grants loyalty abilities to planeswalkers you control. That we have not seen yet, which is very interesting. It's almost like Proliferate. So it makes you wonder if the Throne of Geth is going to get a reprint. That'd be kind of interesting. A new Phyrexian Might creature token with a keyword ability. I believe we've seen that. A 4-color legendary creature. We have not seen that yet, and that's going to be very interesting, especially for Commander. A new counter type. We already know that that's toxic or poison. Um, a reprint with Phyrexian in its name other than a Phyrexian Blue there. We know that's Phyrexian Arena. We've already seen that one. A new keyword with an exclamation point in its name. I don't know. Affinity returns on 3 cards. I don't understand that. A Phyrexianized Staff of Domination. That is amazing. Staff of Domination was a powerhouse card in Commander and still a powerhouse card in Commander this day. Another one that's a Staff of Domination Phyrexian style will be really neat if you could spend life to activate the Staff of Domination. That's incredible. Another sword of blank and blank. That's right, guys. There is going to be a sword, brand new sword, put into this set of 2 different colors. So that is exciting, and that's going to be a very expensive card if it gets out. I can't wait to see it. It makes me wonder if we have colored swords. If we're going to have a sword that's going to reflect artifacts and maybe something else, because we don't have an artifact sword yet. Um, so maybe artifact and colorless, or artifact and a color, or artifact and a land. I don't know. There's lots of stuff they could do, or just 2 colors that haven't been paired together yet. Because it is possible there's only 5 swords, I believe, and that leaves another 5 swords they could make. So it's very interesting. Next, if 1 or more tokens be created under your control, twice that many are created instead. Don't think we've seen that yet. Discard your hand and draw 4 cards. I don't think we've seen that one yet either. But what's got me really excited about some of this stuff here is the Phyrexian Staff of Domination. That seems very powerful and seems to be a card that everybody's going to want, not only in Commander, maybe in some of the older formats to use your life in, but also Standard, where life is not as in duress as it is in older formats when cards are quicker. Um, and a new sword is phenomenal, because think about it. If we get a new sword, does that mean they're going to put a sword in this set, maybe a sword in the next set, and bring back, or not really bring back, but reprint the cards that let you go fetch artifacts again? Like Stoneforge Mystic, or any other card, for that matter. I mean, right now we have a pseudo Stoneforge Mystic for a white and 1. I believe it's in Crimson Vow or something like that. Where you look at the top 4 of your library, you can get an artifact, put it in your hand, and whenever you play an artifact, it gets +1/+1 counter. It's kind of a pseudo Stoneforge Mystic. It's a pretty good card, never really caught on. But are we going to go back to an era where that becomes a thing again? That's very interesting. Especially if they do decide to reprint Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, they've reprinted Liliana the Veil, so I mean, everything's on the table, right? It's pretty crazy. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I know it's early. I know that we're getting ready to have the Wizards start to release their stuff. I'll have another video first thing tomorrow morning come out for you to talk about everything we go over today that Wizards comes out with. I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be a fun time. This will be the first time I've been playing Magic when a Phyrexian set's come out. I've played before and after before, but I've never played during a Phyrexian set, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out. And well, I just can't wait. So, until next time, be kind. And remember, I hope to see you across from the game table.